99416, meaning that's about 600 kilowatt hours below zero. So since the system got turned on, which I think was last October, I'm now 400 kilowatt hours to the good. So the property here is undeveloped, so I had basically a blank slate, and the fact that the house is, or a potential house would be in the middle of a field, I had, perfect solar capabilities. When I talked to Revision Energy, they came and they measured and they said, oh, you're 90-some% efficient for solar panels. And I sort of have a belief that everything is moving generally towards a net zero. So I said, hey, I'm going to give that a try. Okay. But I was a little hesitant because I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. So I told the architect, hey, let's get close, but let's not sort of go overboard on it, because I didn't know really what the cost was. I didn't really know exactly. I'm not sure I used the word net zero with them, but energy efficient. But the more I got into it, I said, well, heck, well let's try for net zero and just see what happens. Yeah, so there's a number of different definitions, but most of the sort of consensus definition would be if you have a net zero house, you're generating as much renewable energy as the house uses, but it's measured on an annual basis, and most all net zero houses are connected into the electric grid. Yeah, it's quite unusual for a net zero house to be off grid. Like I say, you run into all the problems of you're going to have to store your excess energy, and that's quite expensive with the current battery technology. So the general strategy on net zero is to first site your house to take advantage of solar. So this house is rectangular with the long side of the rectangle facing southerly. You always have constraints because like here, the view is like down the field, so the house really sort of wants to face this way, but your access is over here, and your garage is, you got to be there. So you got to think about, it's more than just the sunshine, but to get to net zero, the first thing you want to try to do is position the house to get as much sunshine as you did. So here we're about 10 degrees off of due south. So for net zero, the first thing to do is to try to orient your house properly, get as much natural sunlight and energy, if you will, in a northern climate. That's what you want to do. And then you want to cut way down on your energy demand. About 60% of your energy demand in this geography has to do with heating. And so you want to insulate heavily, and you want to reduce your electric loads. And so you reduce your electric loads by using like Energy Star appliances, LED lighting.
Like Mason's, the home you were able to view is alleged to be, I'm pretty sure it is, but I don't know if they've proofed it yet. Maybe they have by now. But so yeah, I've gotten to be involved, in quite a few efficiency homes, in the past few decades. So a net zero house is a house that is deemed by the industry and by me to be completely off of the grid as far as its energy use. It can be dependent on the grid from time to time because there's reciprocity in the energy that it uses and it gives. So if you use less than you give, you're considered net zero. More incentives, They need to be more commensurate with the true cost to do it. And they need to be clear. Like, go try to figure out what, if you want to have an exercise in futility, go try to figure out what Mason's incentives are and how they've changed and what they really are. Because, you know, you need a PhD. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not clear, you know. And as a developer, I don't even look at it because I don't have time to read this gibberish that doesn't make sense, you know. And I deem myself fairly intelligent, you know, but it's like, and it's a moving target, you know.
Right.
You got to do it by or this year, and then this year changes, and this, you know, it's just keeping up with it's like a job, you know.
Yeah. It's a lot of jargon that most people, if I'm right, just don't understand. And
No.
refuse to take the time, which is understandable.
Well, it's made to not be really clearly understood. That's the problem. And that's the shame, you know, because it's doublespeak, you know.
So with the city's initiative on behalf of Mayor Marty Walsh and the Green Ribbon Commission to become carbon-free by 2050, how do they reach that if they have a lot of homes in, especially the historic areas like Fenway and Kenmore? Really
They're
dense
never going to
areas?
reach it.
And what is the best way for them to move towards net zero for those areas?
Wind farms, hydro farms, and off-site solar. That's the only way they're going to be able to do it. You try to get those blue bloods to open their wallets and rip their homes apart, you'll have another Tea Party revolution. No shit. Yeah.
That's for sure.
It won't happen. I mean, you know, and it's in a way I get it. They killed themselves. They're there, and you know, I don't know. That's a whole separate issue.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's a thesis or 100.